Hey y'all, welcome back to Oli Makes. So we got a fun little build this time around. We're going to take some standard pine, some dowel rod, and some rubber bands. And we're going to keep the kids busy. It's been a long winter and the kids are tired of being inside. So we're going to make them some candy catapults to keep them busy. Stick around and show you how it's done. Today we're going to start with, I've heard people call this blue pine. It's basically just pine and looks like it's got kind of a mineral stain to it. But not the best looking wood, but this will be pretty good for what we're going to use it for. And just like with some other projects I've done, gonna do the layout lines on the laser here. Got our layout here. And let's see if I can actually capture this. Kind of see it. And I also went ahead and marked out where to center punch the holes I need to drill for the dowel rods. So I'll go ahead get this knocked out on the bandsaw quick. And from that, we get this. We got our two side pieces and our center piece. And I am going to have to hollow this out a little bit so it can actually cradle something. But first, I am going to get my hole center punched. It is really handy having this laser to lay stuff out. Saves me a lot of time measuring and remeasuring and measuring one more time. And now for this piece, we are just gonna find the center here and drill that out. Now I am using a 5/16 dowel for this assembly, so I'm actually gonna go one step above that for this hole, just so it's got plenty of play in it. Don't want it binding up or slowing it down. And that way I don't have to play the big sanding game on it either. So let me go ahead and get these all drilled out. And we'll see what we're looking at. Got our holes drilled out here. Got the through hole for the actual throwing arm. And then for the base. So we are going to hollow this out a little bit. I'm just going to use a Dremel. And I'm not exactly sure what bits. Let me see what I got here. All masked up, and let's see what kind of damage we can do with this thing. That ain't gonna do squat. I'm gonna need to get a bit. Oh, we'll go with something semi-aggressive here. Go with a little something like that. Alright, got this little dished out here. Get a good angle. So that will hold the payload real nice. I should go from Candy Heart to Skittle to small chocolate Easter egg. All sorts of stuff should be able to fit in there. Now I am going to go ahead and give these bases a quick sand. And we should be ready to paint. Got these blown off with a little bit of air. And some good old plain Jane spray paint. Gonna be nothing too awful fancy here. Now I am just using spray paint and not coating them otherwise, because the wonderful little darlings that are gonna be going after each other with these ought to know not to put toys in their mouth. If they don't, well, take off all the labels. It'll work itself out. And honestly, my wife has already told me exactly what she thinks I'm building. We'll let that coat have a few minutes to dry. We'll flip it and give it another one. Got the paint dry on this set. I went ahead and made another set because I figured it would just be the right thing to do to arm both kids instead of having one fend for themselves and then having an argument over it. And what I'm using here, I don't know if this is going to work. It's something that we got for free. And I don't know, it's just chalk. But I'm thinking if I put a layer of shellac over it, it might hold the color. I guess we're going to find out. Because on the can it says that the color will bleed out of it. So I don't know. Kind of one of those testing things. I don't know if it just bleeds out when there's not a extra finish on it or what. I'm guessing it's gonna bleed out, but we'll see. So now we're down to putting these together, and I just cut some dowel rods just so it has a little bit of play back and forth. And then of course I did oversize the hole so I don't have to worry about putting some paste wax or anything like that up in there for smooth movement. And I'm probably not even gonna bother gluing these together, because the one thing I came across was eventually these rubber bands are gonna break. They're gonna need to be replaced, especially this top dowel. If I glue that, it's a one-shot wonder. Then it's junk and none of the kids want to play with it. So we'll go ahead and get this thrown together quick. Actually, this one I might have to do a little glue. That hole's a little sloppy. Well, that's not too bad, I guess. And then I'm just going to go ahead and use 2 rubber bands. Get this right here. Then I'm just going to wrap it around whatever this part is called. Probably a couple times. Give it a little oomph. And then just put it like that. Back this side out. Get all this stuff aligned. Kind of squared up. And there you go. Just like that. Real simple, real basic. There's not really a whole lot to this. Gotta get this square a little bit though. And let's put a little something in it and see how she flies here. Okay, we got a lug nut. Let's give this lug nut a try here. Yeah, I think that'll do. Maybe add one more rubber band. But I don't want these things going clear across the room, because eventually it's going to end up hitting the TV. Then I'll be sorry I made them. Let's try something a little lighter maybe. Okay, got a piece of gum. This will be something a little more on the edge of candy. Oh yeah, that'll be enough to kind of pelt each other. Oh yeah, that'll go at least halfway across the room. So I'll keep them separate just enough so no eyes get poked out. Might be a little sore, but they shouldn't get poked out. So the more I look at it, I might just glue one side of these in so one side can come off. But just real simple, basic build. Nothing too awful fancy, but good quick build. Keep the kids entertained, at least for a little while, until they cry. Yeah, I think I'm going to glue one side of this in. Take the loose side and glue it in. And here we got the finished product. The pink, I wouldn't recommend that pink chalk for nothing except if maybe you hate yourself. Stuff's garbage. Can't even seal it up. But I'm sure that the kids will find these plenty adequate to have some fun on those days they can't get outside. I did go ahead and glue the bottom 2 dowels on one side just to kind of keep them in place. And then that way the top dowel comes all the way out and one whole side comes off, so you can rewrap rubber bands. But that's going to wrap this build up. So thanks for coming along with me, and see you next time.